Floss Tubes, Kerry and Stitches. It's Friday the 31st of July and this is my FFO video. You're not seeing this till the end of August, so you'll be like, why did she say July? I have no idea when it's coming out off the top of my head, so we will see when I can get some FFOs done and show you. But I thought I'd just go through and have a look at planning some FFOs and seeing what we can come up with. You will have seen my video a couple of weeks ago where I showed all my FFOing stuff. So whilst it was all out, I thought I'll go through and I will put together some ideas and just kind of get some ideas of what I've got to do. I've made a list of everything that needs FFOing, and hopefully I can make some notes and we can I can come up with some ideas and just see. I think sometimes you just need to have it all out and just see what you've got, because I forget what I've got, and I didn't realise I had so many trims, to be honest. Before I was sorting it, I was like, oh, yeah, I've got a lot more than I, because they were, a few in this bag, and there was a drawer full, one of these drawers had a few in, and then another drawer had some other ones in, and it was all a bit muddled up. So let's go through and see. It's not all Christmas stuff. Predominantly it is Christmas stuff from my mania, but not all of it. So let's just see what we've got and I will go through. So first up we've got the seagulls from Crosstitch magazine. Now there's a tail there and he's pulling back through. Now originally if I recall, I think I've got the paper in the bottom, you kind of did something like that, and then with a scrap of it you made some little like bunting to go off the bottom. I don't think it was a pillow finish. I don't think I'm going to do a pillow finish. I think I might just do a flat fold, but still kind of create the bunting. So I think that could be fun. So, and I'll use the fabric that came with the kit at the time. So there's one. Mandala. I really don't know. I'm struggling with this one. I might just buy, I was thinking maybe a hoop finish for it, like one of the square flexi hoops. Possibly I might just do a basic flat fold. It's really hard to colour match for the trims, so white doesn't work, as you can see. I don't think I've got anything in that kind of blue spectrum. I don't know, I'm not convinced. Yeah, I'm not sure about a trim or anything for that. So maybe it'll just be a simple flat fold finish. I'm not even sure I've got fabric that would work with it. So I may just even just go about this is just a simple flat fold finish and just do a puffy one. Maybe that's just the way for that one. Okay, Winter Witch. I stitched this ages ago. I think it's the Snowflower Diary. And you can see where I carried my threads for the snow. This is going to be another flat fold. I've got 4 A4 sheets of WOXS, so I think I'm good. I'm thinking, and this is a gift as well, so I'm thinking this fabric with it. I think I brought them together originally, so I think it's going to look pretty good. And the person it's going to, I think, needs a pom-pom trim. So let's have a look what I've got. Pom-poms. What have I got? Or do I want to go rick-rack? Pom-poms. Oh, that's another nice pink. I've got lime green rick-rack. Okay, so lime. Not convinced by the lime green rick-rack. That doesn't work. Maybe white. Just one, maybe 2 white. Is there enough here? We lay it. Let's tip this so you can actually see me laying this out on the table. There we go. There we are. So possibly have enough. I could just about do kind of a flat fold with that. Or the other option, which matches her dress quite nicely, is the pink. And it's got pink jiggly, more dangly pom-poms. Not sure until I put it together, but I'm heading towards pink pom-poms because I think the person who it's for would like that. So put that together, and I'm going to make a note on here to say that the Winter Witch needs pink algae poms. Okay. Little cross-stitch kit, cover kit. It's on plastic canvas, so the plan is to cut it out. It did come with some green felt that I can see over there, and maybe, oh, I know. Thinking something like that. There we go. Flash of genius there. That doesn't happen very often. I'm going to move that to the middle. Oh, Blackbird Designs piece. I am thinking mounted flat fold. Now, it's quite small, so I am lots of thinkings here. So I might use this board, which you can see it's already got magnets on it. It's got the beaded hanger because this is the one I'm using for my summer sale. So it will be perfect to do a Christmas one. And what have we got? Oh, flat quarter. So I am thinking, let's have a quick look at this. Let's just place that on there like that. I think I've got this one sorted. I have a feeling I might crack this one out nice and quickly. Oh, that's a bit wonky, but I know the frame's silver. I can change the beads. The beads have only been sort of put on in a way that they can come off. So I think that fabric would work really nicely. And then I have these lovely dark red poms. I think that is definitely sorted, that one. I think so. I'm going to keep that together for that. I think that's a definite for that. And let's have a look. What have we got? Where is it? Piece. I'm going to go with. I might have put a couple of picks at the top, and I might have to re-bead a new. So we're going to go with the red poms. Yeah, and green fabric from Creative Hands. Okay, Berry Bird. What have we got for Berry Bird? So I came up with a few ideas. That's Piece Bird, Berry Bird. I'm thinking possibly just a little flat fold, because I don't want everything to be massive to go on my tree. So seriously just considering just doing a really small, kind of, okay, slightly bigger than that, flat fold. Yay big. Maybe with some, and then just having just a series of, because these are all the ones I need flat folds. So we've got Running Stag, Noel, and I think these are all going to be my flat folds, and Cozy Inn, and they're all very similar. And they're all on Tea and Coffee dyed. So my thought is that maybe make them all matching. I've got some natural rickracks and some lace, which I think would work nicely, and a floss tube itchy nose. That's all white. I've also got some, yeah, I reckon between the rickrack and the lace, I think that would work really nicely. What else have we got in here? Let's have a quick look. Let's have a quick look in the other box. Oh, let's just slide that on in there for now. And that's pink. It's called. Yeah, I think. So backing fabrics. I'm wondering whether I can get away with that red ticking, because it's definitely like the pinky red in that. Maybe I can over dye a piece. Oh, genius. Okay, so I'm going to use this. Let's have a quick look and see what other fabrics we've got. Another nice dark green, not the yellow. Okay. Oh, let's lift the box over and just see what we've got. That would work. I think we'll go with that one. I am going to I'm going to tea and coffee dye a little bit of this to go with the cozy cottage, and I'm going to use it as is for that. Look at this, we're getting a good pile here. Let's have a look at what else. Oh, and just maybe some plain red for Berry Bird. Although I may well have enough of the tea coffee dyed around the edge to do that, so that's a possibility too. Okay, I'm going to put the so it makes it easy to reach out. This one, I think because this one was my mum, it's always been a bit of a I don't know what to do. So I am thinking the finish in the book was horrible. In the just Crosstitch magazine was horrible. So I'm thinking a round finish, because otherwise it's going to have to be hexagonal, which is going to be, unless I can find a hexagon to draw around, it's going to be a nightmare to try and organise because my geometry isn't brilliant. So I'm thinking a round one, mat board a flat fold, a green, gonna have to be a green I think, fabric. What have we got? One green. Let's see what we've got in here. It's not big enough scrap. Not sure about that one at the moment, so I'll have to think. Do you know what, my mum would love that fabric. I think I've got a piece with green in it. I do have lots of, oh, that would work nicely. Right, oh, let's see if I've got a big enough scrap of that. Oh, might just be able to do it with that scrap, and I think that'll work really nicely. See, I have tiny scraps. I don't know why I keep half of these pieces, but I can't throw fabric away. Let's have a nice dark green. Okay, there's plenty of options in here for fabric for that. That's the green one I was thinking of, and I know I've got more. Okay, clearly patchwork something at some point. Okay, I've got some ideas there. So I like that though. I think that'll be nice. It's got a bit of the gold on, and it's got the greens. It's not no blue, but I think it's easier to stick with that. Unless there's anything in this one. These are more children Santas and snowmen and stuff. So okay, I'm going to go with that. Well done, Flush Tube. You helped me a lot there. Okay. I'm going to try and sew that one into a pear shape. Might go completely pear shaped. So, and I think I'm going to use that red ticking again, because I think it'll pick out that pink nicely. Let's have a quick look. I can't see where it is. There we go. So let's have a look. Oh yeah, I think that's going to work nicely. Maybe if I coffee dye a bit for that as well. So, pear. Let's have a quick look. Red ticking. Oops. Okay. Right. Okay. By the Bay is going to be sewn into a shape as well. Call me crazy, but I'm thinking blue here. What have we got there? There's no blues there. Let's go to my Christmas scraps again. I have got other Christmas scraps in the box down there too. You know, I almost want to do it with that on the back of it. Call me crazy, I may well do that. convinced by anything in that pile. That might work. That's going as a temporary. I think it. Okay, this is going well. Okay, we've got the 3 from. Oh, that's one of them. Ooh. It's a bit breezy out there, which is a good thing because the temperatures are hitting the 90s today. So we've got the Crosstitch ones from last year. Right. How much have I got of this? Because that fits that one green really nicely. These are being flat folded, just nice simple small square flat folds, and maybe some of these will get trimmed. I don't think I'm going to overly trim a lot of these flat fold. If anything, it's more likely to be some cording. So on my shopping list, I think I'm going to just put, just to kind of maybe get some cording. I don't know. Right, okay, so we've got, I think just doing them in a just nice flat colour, and I have plenty of it for those, I think it's going to work. I think it's great to use at some of these scraps too. Okay, these 2 I want to do in a tart tin, because that's how they're finished. I don't want to have to buy a load of really expensive ones, so I'm going to see if I can find some. So those, I'm not guaranteeing will get done. Gnome is going in his sleigh, so he actually only needs to be made into a little fat cushion, and he needs to be a super stuffed one. So he's just going to be like that, and he needs to sew a bell on his hat. So backing, that's that. Backing fabric. Need some backing fabric for that one. What have we got in the way of blue stuff? Not a lot. You know what? That might be. No, that's not right. Okay. I may just back in with some basic white, which has got the. I don't know if that's picking it up. Oh yeah, there's kind of just a print within it. Little, so that might. No, that's not right either. Another bag of scraps. I might see if I can just find maybe a pale blue scrap for him. I can see one in the bag. Unless I only need a tiny bit. That's maybe just something like that. This might be just a simple fix for him. Okay, Tipsy Tree. Let's have a look. Tipsy Tree. Tag. I was thinking for the Tipsy Tree. When I was getting everything out, let's bring some of these things over. But because I've got these funky wooden tags, I might just do a real simple finish on tag. Okay, that'll look quite cool. Just on this wooden tag. Oh, I won't bother now because I've got that. So that's written down in my list. This one I'm excited about. So, bell pull. I may or may not just use that as backing, or possibly one of my long skinny scraps, because it pretty much needs finishing off a lot this size. Because if I want to do this as a proper bell pull, and I have a teeny tiny hanger which will fit nicely at the top. So if I can just hold that on there, so that will fit nicely at the top as long as it remains skinny. But the fun thing I think I'm going to do for this is I ordered some bead trim. So technically I have already spent some, but I am thinking, because I've kind of tried to get a Christmassy one, is to put sewn into the backing is to put in a tiny bit, let's pull this up a bit so you can see. So you wouldn't see the black, but a bit of beaded trim, I think, at the bottom. So I think that will just be a bit of fun for it. It's already got beads and everything on, and let's make it a bit more blingy because it's Christmas. Thumbs up from Lot there. Okay. Tiny band sampler, or miniature band sampler I think this one's called. Can't see it on my list though. Okay. I really like these doors. And when I saw them I knew they were screaming out for some cross-stitch finishing. So I am thinking I'm going to carefully mount this one. Probably will put onto a bit of cardboard first. Oh, I might make that slightly wider, but and mount it on the door like that. I think that would be super cute. It's so tiny. And then I might just put some, using some wire, just add some gold and some, what's the colour lot? Gold and red beads into that, and just make it a bit prettier on the wreath. So that's my plan for that. This Prairie School, I loved how they did it in the magazine, and all they did was turned it into a triangle, a flat fold triangle I think it was, with some green felt behind, and I've probably got green felt, cut with pinking shears, like that, hanging loop, and then used a twig for like a stem. So I'm going to go with that for my finish. I've definitely got plenty of twigs I can get in the garden. So another tag finish for the Tipsy for the baby cardinal, because I think it's just a cute little thing. So I think just on a little tag would be cute. What else we've got? Okay. We've got Star Santa and Star Snowman. I can't think of the words.
It's Snowman Star.
Yeah. Oh, I remember what I was going to do with these. Oh, thanks a lot. This was an idea Lots and I came up with the other day. We've got these windows.
I came up with them.
So I am thinking, obviously it's not so easy when you've got this, that a little tiny bit of card or flat fold, and just mount it onto that. I think he'll just about fit in the middle of that, and I think that'll be really cute. And to do the snowman on the red one, who fits a little bit better. So just because it hasn't got the bird at the bottom. So I just think that'll be a really fun way of doing those ones. Nearing the bottom of the box.
Yay.
So I do need to find the ring for that. I'm just going to go with two simple finishes for these. The the hanging thing. For these, which is going to be just little mini hoop finishes. And I will just cover the back with some white felt. Be nice and simple. And again, I thought the blue hoops picked out nicely because it's got with the blue cottages, and this one again, blue and white. I thought that was perfect for that one. So just some simple finishes. I like the idea that it's all a bit eclectic and different. I know a lot of people do, the tree is all the same finishes, but I like to be a bit different. So we've got the candy cane stocking that will become a stocking, and the big stocking that will become a big stocking. They're all going to get a 2020 charm on them. Yeah. So I'm going to leave this video here. I'm going to try and reclaim my dining table, and let's see if we can come up with some FFOs, because I'm super excited to have some of these finishes done. So I'll check back in with you later. Bye bye. So welcome to part 2 of my FFO video. So you would have the last 20 minutes watching, this is my plans, and this is what actually happened. Lottie and I, who is a fantastic FFOer, she fully finished objector, she has really discovered a knack. She's got some great skills. So we've had like a little conveyor belt going, and she's been doing backing fabrics. So I've used a lot of sticky felt just for ease, but she is a whiz with a glue spreader. So we've FFO'd some things. I'm not sure half of them have turned out how I planned. There's been a lot of, ooh, that would work. And little moments of inspiration. So I am going to show to you the first 22 finishes that we have. 22. Go us. So mostly they're ornaments, as well, as that was half my FFO box. So I'll just do this little one here we've got stood up. This is this was from Crosstitch, and we magneted it because I thought, well, I might want to use the board for something else, so I did that as a little magnet finish on a little easel I picked up in Home Bargains, I think. We've got the seagulls. Yeah, this ended up getting far simplified. I did like the bunting at the bottom. It just ended up with white felt on the back and a piece of our new tie-dye ribbon. Or not tie-dye ribbon, but dyed ribbon. So there we go, that's that one. Any other non-seasonal? I'm going to do the non-seasonal ones. So this is Ink Circles Mandala. And it was funny because Lottie said, which we were looking at it yesterday, and Lottie was like, which way does it go up? And she sort of had it sat on a board like that, sat on the table like that. And I was like, ooh, oh, that could be a pendant. And then, and we found, I've got a ton of this yellow rickrack, and we were like, oh, that actually brings out the yellows and stuff in it, makes it a nice, bright, cheerful one. And Lottie sort of did a little loop with the, well, Lottie did the loop with the rickrack. My contribution to this was basically I mounted the cross stitch on the sticky board and sewed the corners in. Everything else is Lottie's doing.
And you...
Oh, I did help her make the tassel. We've even glued some of your hair in it, Lottie. And she held it up on the wall, kind of like, oh, what do you think, Mum? And I was like, it needs a tassel. And so we made a tassel with leftover leftover thread from all those cover kits and things I've got. So pleased with that. I'm really pleased with how that's turned out. That's going to go on my hoop wall, which isn't just a hoop wall. It's got all sorts of stuff on it. So we figured it'd fit fine. This was a kind of mad finish. Let's just throw everything at it. And I've still got a pin in it. Still got a couple of pins in it. We need to take that.
Two.
Yeah. And it does still need some backing for it, but I've run out of felt. So this is Snowflower Diaries, Christmas Witch, I think it's called. And I'd always planned to put it on this mad fabric. It was going to be a flat fold. Ended up just being a flat hanging. And with the poms, I think I said I was going to use. And then we were like, it needs a bit more green. So we put some lime green rickrack around the edge, and then we kind of went a bit mad and threw some more poms on it. And this is a gift for a friend who actually, this couldn't be more perfect, really. Because, yeah. I'm not sure this turned out really how I planned. I can't remember what I said, but this is Blackbird's piece. The fabric I picked up at Beamish Open Air Museum when I went. So it's a kind of, I think it's like an 1800s style print. And I just like the fact that it picked up the little yellow whatever's around it and was nice and dark green. Threw in some red poms because everybody needs red poms. So really pleased with that actually. Considering whether it needs something around that edge as well. So we may, no, don't think so. I was wondering whether another row of red poms might be in order.
We have enough red poms over here.
Well, we might have to purchase, we've got to purchase some more anyway. So.
Yeah, more red poms.
Yeah, so maybe it might end up with another row of red poms. This one, Peace on Earth, is mounted and ready to go on the big keyboard, and Lottie and I have sorted out a load of picks and things ready, and bells and things to go. We've got a little shopping, oh thanks Lot. So, again, we need white poms now.
2 meters,
that's going to go,
small white poms.
That's going to go on like that, with white pom-poms around the edge, just the small poms, and then that is going to be filled with greenery and we've got some really funky, cool ribbon to cover that over with, and this is going to be probably one of my favourite finishes this year. Thanks, I'll just leave it there, that's fine. So, back to all the ornaments. I think a lot of the ornaments, or at least half of the ornaments were finished how I expected. So, little band sampler on the door. I've watch my Mania wrap up if you need to know who any of the designers are, because I can't remember half of them. They're on Traditions, maybe. So, a couple of little tag ornaments. Ooh, we ended up photocopying some fabric just to make a paper print. With the holly leaves picked up at Hobbycraft. So I'm really pleased with it. It turned out really cute. Just with the felt back on some wooden tags. These were a game and a half. Just because it was just me. Just trying to work out how to stick these really small things down, and in the end we got there. So they turned out well. Obviously you saw the hoop finishes, and I need to find the hoop hanger for the other one, but they were just backed with some felt, so they're all nice and tidy now. The ornaments that started the realisation that Lottie is brilliant at FFOing. The trio, these are from Crosstitch last year. They've just got a ribbon edge that Lottie's popped on and some felt backing. Just some simple things. All of these ornaments are going to have a 2020 charm sewn onto it when I get around to it. This one definitely wasn't as planned, but ended up with some cute little poms around it, and I think those are the poms we'll get to go around the second layer of the thing. It might end up with something else at the top. I just can't help thinking it needs just a little something there, but we will see. Berry Bird with just a bit of a cording finish, and with the holly leaves. Pleased with that one. And again, just with red or green or felt on the back, sometimes white. Running Stag, Kathy Barrick. Just with, I just kind of went, oh, this was the FFO that they did in the magazine. This had beads sewn into it. I was kind of looking at the bead trim going, actually I think I could just do a little beaded fringe, so I did. So pleased with that. Again, I may end up putting something small at the top, even if it's just sliding on a glass bead at the top, just to kind of on the hanger. And Noelle was finished much the same, with a doubled over bead trim and just a bit of ribbon. So I thought it was quite nice to have this pair because they obviously have stitched on the same fabric. And again, I think I might just pop a bead on for that. This was finished almost as, got to hot glue that in yesterday, the stick. So this is Prairie Schooler. It was finished like this, except that they'd used zigzag felt, so I just grabbed some rickrack out and just popped the rickrack in between the felt on the back. And with a twig from the garden, which needs cutting down a bit shorter, which is fine, because we cut it a bit long, just in case. And my last one, which I think is probably one of my favourites, and this is an almost no sew one. So basically done with iron-on interfacing on the back, all glued together, and all I've done is just quickly stitch the sides and the bottom, again with the beads at the bottom, which is what I bought them for originally. And I love this little sampler with a little wire hangy hoopy thing. You can see it better there. Love that one of my favourites, definitely. So that's where we're at with the FFOing. I'm so pleased with how they turned out, and I will pop in a slideshow at the end of the whole video, just to show every make properly. So hopefully there'll be a part 3 to this where I show you just a handful more finishes. I'm thinking that, oh, I forgot this one. This actually was a card that a friend sent me a few years ago, and the card was just stuffed in the back of the cupboard, so I decided to make it into a little another little tag. Lottie did this one completely herself on her own because she's a genius. I just cut the, all I did was cut the stitching down to size for her. She's just so good. And her patience to sit for 5 hours, 2 days running, FFOing is just fantastic for a 10-year-old. So definitely has a niche. She might not be very, she might not knock out the stitching like I'd hoped, but her FFOing skills are phenomenal. So definitely has the eye for it, and it's great at doing like the Priscilla. She was really helpful doing the. We did a mock-up of the piece on Earth Finish, and
It took us like 20 minutes though, just to figure out how.
Yeah, but you knew what was right, and you're good with your like your odd number, working with odd numbers, and kind of doing all that kind of balancing things. Good at less is more, and so super pleased with how she. Oh dear. Yeah, fantastic. So as I said, hopefully there'll be a part 3 where I think I can probably get another 3, 4. 4, 8. I'd like to say another 8, but that's pushing it a bit, I think. So we will see. We'll see what FFOs I can finish off. Oh, yeah, the circle ones. Yeah, there's scope. Anywho, you'll know because you'll be watching it very, very soon. So I shall see you in the next part. Bye-bye. Hi FlossTube, it's now Saturday the something of somewhere. It's, what are we going to go, 22nd of August maybe? Yeah, 22nd of August, there we go. And my FFO marathon has pretty much drawn to a conclusion. There's only 2 things that Lottie and I haven't managed to, haven't gotten around to FFOing yet. One is Main Street, and it's in a bag for a reason. That is ready for me to take with me to the framers on Tuesday. How exciting. I'm going to get a custom frame. I shall put it together myself, but I'm going to have a custom frame done for that. And then I'm gathering supplies to do Main Street. So we have 5 metres of pom-poms. I've got 1 piece of fabric that I picked up, one of those ones where you go, yeah, I like that, that'll be good for finishing. So I do need to get another piece of that, but the shop I need to go to is quite a way out of town. So we have got mat board cut, and there's also the bigger pieces as well, which I think I've put away upstairs at the moment. So that's all done. And so come probably September, October, we'll start putting that all together and get that done, get it and build this tree. So it's that's going to be exciting, as will my big frame of Main Street. It's been a long time coming. Fortunately, I know exactly where I'm hanging it, and it's all ready. And yeah, so let's get on with some of the things. In the first video, I don't think I showed you some of the things we have actually FFO'd. I think I just referred to it as the other bag of stuff. So you may be seeing far more FFOs than I originally did in the first part of the clip. So yeah, bear with me. The show notes will happen. It might take me a while to write down all of the projects. So, or maybe just ask and I'll tell you. So anyway, let's crack on. So this fortnight's worth of, or this week's worth of FFOing mainly meant the sewing machine and hand sewing and circles and ones that I was a bit kind of like, about, and some framing. So we have a little teeny tiny gnome. I just kind of stitched them together like that. And this is his little sleigh he's going to sit in. He's a bit small for it. It didn't quite work out. I mean, I think I've just sewn it together smaller than I thought I would. So, but we're going to fill it with a bit of greenery and some, he'll look cute in there. We'll work it out at Christmas. I hand sewed the heart. I did try and machine sew it and it just wasn't that heart, the cut middle bit down was just really quite tricky, so I ended up hand sewing and it was much easier. Just with some pale blue backing from a scrap and a little pale blue ribbon. I have sewn 2020 charms on all the 2020 decorations, and I've got some 2019 coming for the handful that was 2019, and I've got a couple of 2018 ones knocking about for the 2018s. So I forget what, I was going to do tart finishes with these, and I just couldn't get the ones I thought were available. Well, no, I couldn't find them anymore. I had a good look round, couldn't see any in town. I wasn't going to pay £12 or £14 for 12 tart. I don't need 12, so there was never any twin packs or falls or anything like that. So I ended up doing little circle finishes with my circle cutter I bought, and it's great. Just with some backed with a bit of fabric. So that's 2 pieces of matte foam core sandwiched together, and pleased with how it turns out. Little bit of greenery. I need to get some when all the picks start coming in the shops. We saw a couple this week, but not many. I'm going to get just a bit of green, some berries or something just to sit in there. And there is, so we've got, these are Kathy Jean from Victoria Sampler, I think. And these were just 2 in the, I did at Mania. So there we go. And they've turned out okay. Just finished off them both exactly the same as they were a pair. So Mum's one, which I really didn't know what to do with, I ended up doing like this. So a large circle finish, and we just kind of I had some like green, I mean it is plastic, and just did that, and then just wound some gold like bead trim. It wasn't actually, it's not individual, but it's like that plastic bead trim, and it turned out okay. And I just realised it's got a big thread sticking out there, but and with a little gold hanger. It turned out, I think for this one, I was always struggling with this one as well as I could be expected. One of my favourite finishes is the little pear, and that's just got some ticking on the back of it. That was gifted, and we got a little tiny bit of a twig there for a pear stalk with some gold ribbon, and I'm super pleased with how that turned out. I think it's perfect, and it definitely is a pear-shaped one, so I love that. I'm going to save that one too. So then we moved on to the, I'm going to put them in the box. So I now have a whole tub of Christmas decorations. The stockings. So this one is Blackbird candy cane stocking. So it's just got the ticking, it's got some grey checked fabric. I have no idea where it came from, but I'm really pleased with it. Yeah, my stocking shapes are all a bit odd, but you know, a lot of these designs are rustic, so it's absolutely fine. I went to buy ribbon for it and really struggled just to find a thin grey ribbon. Apparently can't get it, so I ended up, we went to see a friend yesterday. She, my friend Serena, she's a crafty person, and I said, I know you have a ribbon box, got any grey? And perfect piece of grey ribbon in there, because that's all I needed. So yay for crafty friends. And then we had the Auld Lang Syne. This is from the Blackbird, the year in stockings, the monthly booklets. That is just finished off with a bit of purple ribbon to bring out the blackberry thread, and just a spotty kind of dark green one that I've used for 973 other finishes that when I had a finishing spree last year, and this was just a scrap I had and it was perfect. And we've got another Blackbird. This was from the stock. It's not the skinny stocking. I wanted to make it slightly bigger and leave a bit of a margin around the outside. Just some velvet ribbon. And finished with part of my son's pyjamas. Actually, it was really hard to cut them up. Not as in difficult, but I was kind of like, I can't cut up something in this perfectly decent pair of pyjamas, but he's grown out of them. They were going to go to the charity shop or the bin, so I kept them, and I think it was really good. And the good thing obviously about it is I have 5 pieces left to do. Well, I have plenty left to do any other finishing, and I even cheated and used the hem that was already there. So for somebody who's not used a sewing machine in 5 years, I was actually really pleased with how these turned out. So, and my favourite one that I finished was the Plum Street Samplers one. And the funny thing is I had templates for all the Blackbird ones. Oh, that's from Home for the, that's part of the series from Home for the Holidays. So this was Plum Street Samplers from, oh come along Kerry, just Crosstitch magazine, ornament editions. Look back on my Mania video if you want to see all the ornaments and everything are all on my Mania video, which I will link. I think that's probably easier. So if I link all the Mania videos, you can see what the finishes are there, and then I'll try and link as many of these as I can before. So this time I ended up having to make my own template for this one, which started off life as this one, I think. Was it that? Yeah, that one. And then I just kind of made it a bit bigger, went with it. Found this really great red scrap that's kind of like a very much like a linen kind of scrap, which was that pretty much that wide. I ended up having to skinny the stocking down slightly just to get the scrap to fix. I knew it was perfect, and again with the red velvet ribbon and a little 2020 charm. Love that one, it's my favourite. One of the oldest things that's been kicking around in my to be finished box is the Palko calendar. This was a free design that's on Palko Lap's blog. I finished this 2018, January of 2018, and I was going to turn it into a project bag, but decided that actually it was a little bit too big for a project bag, and it was going to be really hard to make a project bag like that. I'm just not ready. I haven't made any project bags, so to try and make one with stitching to start for my first project bag I thought was going to be a bit tricky. So I had some, what's it called? Like beading, that's it, wooden beading from another project which I used just across the top, and we just sewed it together with, this is actually an old upholstery fabric sample or curtain fabric sample that my mother-in-law had given me ages ago that was in the sewing box, and I picked it up thinking actually that's quite thick and it might be a bit more rigid because other than a piece of interfacing there isn't actually anything in this. Now there's a big crease down the middle where I keep folding it, and I just thought it was plain enough for the back, and I liked the fact that that it had, I could kind of make a bit of a feature of that detail across the top, and then have this white, that bit there that just kind of really spoke to me, and then it's got I managed to do it so it's got the same feature at the bottom there. So really happy with how this turned out. I sewed the top two channels with Lottie's help. She did all the ironing, and then she actually sewed the sides and one of the bottom together because she is now a machine genius and Christine is her idol. Yeah, she said I want to be mini Christine. So, but you can't see any of her stitching here. But for somebody who has never sewn before, it's bare. You know, there's a little kind of couple of kinks here and there, but I think she's sewn it beautifully. I am so proud of her for how she's sewn it. And you know, as I've colour matched the thread reasonably well, it will hang up and you won't really see it. So super pleased with that. Although I just noticed it's got a couple of threads hanging off it. Super pleased with that, and it feels actually that feels really fantastic to get that finally finished. I know you saw this last time, but we did actually put the pom-pom trim around the edge of it today. So I've decided I'm actually going to do, I was going to glue it to the board, but I'm going to do a wash it and magnet finish I think on this, just in case I want to turn it into more of a seasonal, if I have any other sort of larger designs to put in. So I think that's what I'm going to do with that. So right, let's leave, let's talk about, I've got three to go. I made some sticky labels. I mean, I know you can buy them and there are some beautiful ones. I just made some really basic ones just so I can put on the back of some of the framed pieces. This is my last sewing machine one. This is Humble Honey. Finished very similarly to how Kathy had finished hers, although she's got a couple of bit of blue ribbony things, which I didn't have, and I wasn't about to buy some just to kind of replicate it, but absolutely I'm over the moon with how this turned out. I bought the pins for it, so I've been stolen them back out of something else, like another B piece that I pinned them into. So just with the ticking on the back, which I had to put that way because I was running out of it fast, and I wish I knew where this came from because it's absolutely lovely. Really is beautiful fabric. Super pleased with it. Just don't know where I bought it. I'm guessing I bought it as a fat quarter at some point because there was a piece out of it like that. It was a really odd shape. So these two things were stitched on the black dahlia of coordinate, but it was just the perfect accompaniment to it. So really pleased with how those turned out. Super pleased with my seam across the middle. So, and that was the second thing I did with the sewing machine. Yeah, it's been a fast learning curve, again, just to kind of get myself into it, but loving having the sewing machine. I can't see me becoming a quilter. I suspect I'll throw out a few project bags here and there when I can. Yeah, I do like the idea of making project bags. I'll have to master putting them in zips, I think, because I'd like zipped ones. So that just leaves me with two pieces left to do. And this one, the first one is my anchor. This is going to be all glary and shiny because it's got the perspex left in it. This was a shop bought frame from Wilko. This is my anchor traditional sampler. I saw this frame a couple of years ago. Bought it last Christmas, last January, something like that. Thought it was the absolute perfect frame for it. So I ended up just trimming the mat down a tiny bit at the top and bottom just to get it to fit. But for, you know, an off-the-shelf kind of job, I think it's perfect. I'm really, really happy with it. It was a kit bought from my in-laws. I stitched it in 2017. I finished this. So super pleased. Back's not fantastic. There's the back. It's just laced in. I couldn't get the backboard in because obviously it was a shop bought frame. But super pleased with that. And my last one. Cityscape. I framed Cityscape. There we go. Oh. So this actually was a frame I picked up in the charity shop this week. Yeah, I took the glass out because of it being an old piece. I just didn't know what the glass, what sort of glass it was, so I just figured it was safer with that. Put a couple of pieces of batting bar felt behind it. So this is Cityscape. It was a World of Crosstitch piece stitched on light blue Zweigart fabric. 25 count with the call for DMC. I forget what issue. 158. World of Crosstitch 158. All's coming flooding back now. This actually held a custom piece of cross stitching. So bless them. The poor bears are over there. They were scary. They had really weird eyes. So I'll probably fill you in that story in my floss tube next week. I had a melt and everything in, but I couldn't believe it. I measured it and it was absolutely spot on. So I snapped that up. Had always intended to do, when it was in World of Cross Stitching, their finish was on a canvas, so I'd always thought I'd finish it like that, but was just I started to put this one together. Sorry, clunking the radio. To put this together, and I was tidying up the table, and I ended up lying. I was going to measure that for whatever reason I was measuring it. And it was just sat in the frame, and I was like, "Ooh, actually, looks pretty good framed." I happened to be going to work the next day, so I thought, I could pop into town and have a quick look, because I'm working in the city centre. I did one day back in the office this week. Went in 2 charity shops, found a frame. Jobs are good and perfect fit. Yeah, couldn't be happier. So that means there is nothing. That isn't, as I said, the only thing. So Jack Frost's all here, it's ready to go. Soon I can start putting it all together as soon as I get the other piece of fabric, and unfortunately the fabric shop has very limited opening at the moment, so yeah, I don't know how long my custom frame will take to put together, but I'm back to work 2 days a week from second week in September, so it'll be easy enough to pick up the frame from work. So bits of greenery will be needed. I did say I'd set myself a budget of £15. Well, given that a frame wasn't, this frame I already had for Sam, I bought this at Christmas, but given the fact that the cityscape I hadn't intended on buying a frame for that, and I ended up spending a lot of money on linen thread to do the lacing of the two pieces. I spent £16.88, so I think that's pretty good going. That included 4 pieces of sticky felt, linen thread, some the, I don't know if I've got, oh, there we go, the little embellishments there, pom-pom trim. That's pretty much all I brought. Yeah, I think pom-pom trim. All the fabric came out of stash, all of it. So it was either leftover bits or bits I already had. Yeah, so super pleased with mat board I'd already bought back in the day. Well, you know, back a few months ago. So, like the little sleigh I already had. The post board was bought for another purpose. So let's have a quick look. I was having a look through to, yeah. So we did add some bells to that. I don't know if we did that last time. I'd already had those. Oh, the beaded trim I'd bought especially for this, so that was added on. But that ended up doing 3 pieces, so that was really good. All my tags and windows. I did order the 2019 charms just to put on those. I already had the 2 circle frames. Obviously, I had the ticking was in a bundle that Heather sent me for our swap last year. I scavenged ribbon from friends. So all in all, yeah, absolutely fantastic. I'm just over the moon with all my finishes. Everything's been done really budget friendly and just kind of proof that you don't have to go out and buy, you can make do. And you know, I've used old pyjamas and fabric scraps, because I hoard all my scraps. I've got bags and bags of small fabric scraps. So, you know, ornaments I'd picked up in the Poundland sale. I mean, a Poundland sale, it's 25p each. So, yeah, finishing doesn't have to be a big expensive circus. I will tell you the price of my framing when I know how much my custom frame is. I've got an idea roughly of how it's going to cost. I think that's really reasonable. Main Street's proof that if you hold out long enough, the right frame will come along. Not Main Street, sorry. Cityscape's proof that hold out long enough, you'll get the right frame eventually, even if you do have to take save the stitches and ultimately then just rob them of their frame. Yeah, it's been a really fun journey. Things do get done eventually. I love the fact that I've got no FFOs that aren't planned ready to do. As I said, I just want to wait and get my second piece of fabric just in case I have to buy a different fabric. So I'd rather have all the same, because I know I've worked it out that I need half a yard of fabric to do it, or 2 fat quarters. So if I can get the same, then I can just go and buy a second fat quarter and it'll be fine. So went and brought all the pom-poms ready for it yesterday, even though they were quite expensive, because they were exactly what I wanted. And it's always, if it's exactly what you want, then sometimes, other than the wood cost, Main Street, Jack Frost won't cost me more than about 10, hang on, how much was spent? That's 4, it's 11, 12. I think I can do the whole of Jack Frost for under £20 and it's going to look amazing. So all in all, FFOing doesn't have to be expensive. Use your imagination, have fun with it, and enlist a 10-year-old. Lottie's been fantastic. She has machine sewed things. She has this is her handiwork. She cut the wood, she glued the and did all the ribbon for me. Every felt backing on a piece is her, or fabric backing is her. glue things together. She is a whiz with tacky glue, she is a whiz with bookbinding glue, the hot glue gun, she's glued magnets and washers onto stuff. She's been amazing. Pom-poms around the edges of things, that was all her work today. I could have done white chenille. Didn't think about that. Anywho, doesn't matter. So all in all, we've had a great FFOing journey. We've learnt lots, had lots of fun, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's a really long video, so thanks for sticking with it. Take care and happy stitching. I will see you all next week for a regular update. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.